Walking away from success is deemed ungrateful or reckless or both. But over 100 years ago, one of the most successful portrait painters in the Western world did exactly that. John Singer Sargent had everything we are told to want, but at the height of it all, he decides to walk away. So why would anyone walk out of a life like that? What was it about his success that started to feel wrong to him? And what does that say about the kind of success we're chasing? For nearly 20 years, John Singer Sargent is one of the most successful portrait painters in Europe. Look at this painting, for example. Lady Agnew of Lochnaw, a young Scottish noblewoman looking at us with this tiny smile that feels like she knows exactly what she's doing. Or Lord Ribblesdale, a tall English aristocrat. Or the Wyndham sisters. These are the kind of paintings Sargent produces year after year. His fees climb to up to $5,000 per portrait, at a time when a comfortable London house could be bought for less. Wall Street millionaires, English aristocrats, American heiresses, all of them queue for him. He travels between London, New York, and Boston, moving from one commission to the next, working through an astonishing number of portraits in a single year. But the painting he's most known for today came earlier, Madame X. Sargent paints her in 1884 when he's still living in Paris. The woman is Virginie Gautreau, an American socialite married into Parisian high society. Her skin is so pale it appears to glow against the dark background. The arrogant tilt of the chin, the famous purplish-pink ears signaling that this is a woman wearing makeup, a woman who wants to be seen. The black dress falling in one single dramatic line, the slight splay of the fingers on the table, which gives away that all this composure is a performance. In this painting, you can see exactly what makes Sargent so different from other portraitists, and to what he owes his huge success. It's not so much about his technical skill. He sees the boredom underneath a wealthy man's expression, the intelligence behind a young heiress's polite smile, the performance behind Madame Gautreau's composure. He paints the person inside the pose, how someone is, not how they appear. When Madame X is first shown publicly, the painting causes a huge scandal. One of Madame Gautreau's diamond dress straps was painted fallen from her shoulder, then repainted upright after the press called her vulgar. It is enough to push Sargent out of Paris and to London. And it is there that over the years that follow, his career builds up to the empire we just looked at. But the more wanted Sargent becomes, the more he begins to feel the cost of being wanted that much. The daily commissions, the deadlines, the same kind of conversation with the same kind of subject. The success starts to feel less like freedom and more like a gilded cage. The more people want him, the less time or space there is for anything else. He's wanted for one thing, and being wanted, however flatteringly, is its own kind of demand. The world has decided who John Singer Sargent is, and the world wants him to keep being it. So he keeps painting and delivering. But somewhere in there, he also begins to lose patience with the very thing he's best at. In one letter, he writes about his portraits. I abhor and abjure them and hope never to do another, especially of the upper classes. Sargent wants out. So what he stops doing now is the work everyone else wants him to do, and what he turns toward is the work he wants to do. He has been making watercolors for years already on his summer trips. Boats moored in Venice in the early morning light, a stream cutting through alpine rocks, a Bedouin in the shade. Those works are loose and light, full of air. Looking at them, you can feel the difference between what he had been doing and what he's now turning toward. The portraits were brilliant, but these seem much more alive. They're not made for anyone. They're made because he wants to make them. He also turns his full attention to a project he has been carrying for decades, a vast mural cycle for the Boston Public Library. It is not work that you would call lucrative. It is also slow, technically demanding, and unfashionable work, but exactly the kind of work Sargent's heart is drawn to. In the last years of his life, he moves to even more unexpected subjects. Toward the end of the First World War, the British government asks him to paint the war. What he produces after weeks of spending time near the Western Front is the painting we now know as Gassed. A long horizontal canvas, a line of soldiers recently blinded by mustard gas, each with his hand on the shoulder of the man in front, being led across a field. The painting is devastating and very, very far away from a Madame X. We are usually taught that success is what we are after. We work toward it. We measure ourselves by how close we are to it. And once we arrive, we are supposed to protect it, because with it come the things we are taught to want as well. Recognition, money, security, admiration. Prove that we have made it. But Sargent's life and the painting on your screen suggests something else. You can become very good at a thing the world wants from you and still discover that the thing the world wants is not the same as what you actually love doing. Sargent felt a gilded cage closing around him. Through the demand, through the paychecks, through the fact that everyone agrees you're good at this, so why would you possibly walk away? Sargent's answer was simple, but not easy. He understood that success is not the same as freedom or doing the things you love. So maybe the real question is not, what am I good at? And maybe it is not even, what makes me successful? The harder question is, what makes me feel free? What is the thing I would keep doing even if nobody was asking for it, applauding it, or paying me for it? Because sometimes the brave thing is not to become more successful. Sometimes the brave thing is to notice when success has started to cost you the very life you wanted it to give you.